Hello and welcome to Inspiring Voices, the podcast of the Cornwall Federation of WIs. I'm joined here today by two women who are instrumental in planning our presence at the Royal Cornwall Show. I have Pam Selley, who's Cornwall Federation Vice Chair, and Liz Baker, who's one of our trustees. And they have been hard at work, working on everything that goes into making the Royal Cornwall Show a success. Now, Pam, we're about 2.5 weeks or a bit less away from this year's show as we're talking at the moment. What are you up to right now in that final run-up?
Well, the final run-up, as of yesterday, I was just talking to all my contractors and making sure they were on song for coming in, the dates that we've given them to put the marquee up, deliver the furniture, etc., etc. So that's an ongoing theme, Helen, to be quite honest.
When does the marquee actually go up?
The marquee goes up on the 23rd, which is early for us. So I should be down on the showground on the 23rd, just checking with them to make sure they put it in the right position.
And what about you, Liz? What are you doing at the moment?
Well, I've been collating all the information regarding the volunteers and the tea stewards. What happens is we get an application form out at the beginning of the year and ask all the members if they would like to come and give us a hand and see what they will do for us. So those bits of information are collected by the office and then handed over to me. And then Pam and I chat about it and we sort out the tea stewards and the volunteers for the duration of the show. It's quite interesting juggling all the times and places, but we seem to be getting there slowly, I think. We're almost done anyway.
Well, it's really wonderful that members are willing to help us, isn't it?
Yes, and it's something that they really enjoy doing. This is the thing. When they come into the marquee, you'll feel the buzz, the atmosphere, and they start to get to know other people and realise that, this is part of what we do as a group of women. And actually, we have a lot of fun. And it's really, really enjoyable. Hard work, enjoyable.
Yeah, hard work being the catchphrase.
Yes.
It is hard work. And I before I was on the board of trustees, I used to volunteer to do teas. And it does go by quickly because you are so busy. It's good fun.
It is. And the lovely thing about it is that you're meeting lots of people coming into the marquee. And they are so interested in what we do. But Pam is the instigator of all things Royal Cornwall Show. She's fantastic at setting it all up, the organisation.
Pam is definitely the queen of the Royal Cornwall Show. Now, I think what many of our members probably don't realise actually how early in the year we start planning the Royal Cornwall Show. The plans are already underway for next year because the main competition, the Royal Cornwall Cup competition, which is the one that probably most people are familiar with seeing when they come into the marquee. It's the competition entries that WI members from a particular WI will work on together. And this year's theme is about the sea. It's all sea themed, which will be really lovely. But next year's theme is already under discussion and will have been for the last couple of months, even though we haven't even got to this year's show.
Yeah, I would say they start talking about the theme in March.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And so how early does your work get started, Pam?
Well, I get the application form from the Royal Cornwall Showground late November. So then I have to confirm the booking with them. Then I have to book the marquee and get a quote for that and get a quote for the furniture. And so it goes on.
There's a lot of costs involved with the show that when you just come in as a visitor, as a WI member, and you look around, it all looks lovely as if it's just been set up perfectly. Yeah. But there's a lot that goes into that. We have, of course, the cost of the marquee, which is quite significant. But tell us about what the other costs are.
The other costs involved are hiring the furniture. I then confirm with the night watchman who we have on site, and that's another cost. Book the electrics, book the plumber. That's really the main cost. After that we then get down to the catering costs.
And why do we have a night watchman?
Well, because we have quite a lot of valuable items on the market in the marquee. So he sleeps for us for the 2 nights. He's there on the Wednesday night, Thursday night, and the Friday night, and so very important man.
Yeah, absolutely. And
he seems to really enjoy doing it. Actually,
he does.
I think he does.
It becomes part of the team.
It's a little adventure for him.
I then have to work out a plan for the marquee on exactly where we're going to put everything. And I'm lucky enough to have a very, very techno-savvy grandson who did me a CAD drawing. So that's something I have on file. And then we can work out where we're going to put everybody.
I noticed our plan this year looked a lot more professional than in previous years.
Thank you, Sam, my grandson.
So that's a question of working out how many competition entries we have.
Yes.
And how much space we'll need for them.
Indeed. And how many tables we need. And yeah.
So how many entries are there this year? Because we've got the Royal Cornwall Show Cup competition. We've also got the Barbara Reid competition and the floral art entries.
Are there 21 in the Royal Cornwall Cup entries, but I've got a feeling somebody might have pulled out from that. So
but that's still up on last year, isn't it?
It is.
Which is a good thing.
Barbara Reid, I think we've got 16 entries, and floral art, we've just got 8. We could do with getting more entries in the floral art.
But is it too late this year for them to enter, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is, yes. Entry dates gone.
But the competitions are lovely. They go all around the edge of the marquee, and it really showcases the skills that the women have. And it's quite remarkable what you can see when people work together as a team. It's really lovely.
And people love seeing them, not just WI members, but all visitors who come to see us in the marquee.
And a key part of our organisation are the events subcommittee. I mean, I am meeting with their chair here today to sort out the stuff to be loaded onto the van. They will be there working their socks off, basically, the whole week of Royal Cornwall Show.
They're really good.
A lot of work into setting everything up. Once the furniture is delivered, they take over, don't they?
They do, yes. I mean, there's lots of things we have to think about, which probably the members don't know. Liz, for instance, does the risk assessment. So we have to do that for the show committee. We have to arrange demonstrators, van hire, first aiders, flowers for the tent. So where are we now? Fire extinguishers. I mean, there's an awful lot that goes into it.
It goes on and on.
Yeah, it goes on and on.
And the thing is that it's not just sort of like it's finished in one go, because, for example, ordering the cakes and the milk and the simple things that you would sort of not think about, that needs to be ongoing all the time.
Yep.
So there's sort of constant demand to work out what you're going to need.
Mm-hmm. And we serve cream teas and cakes to visitors to the marquee, but they're not homemade. And I think some people come into the marquee and they think, oh, it's the WI, you make cakes. We'll have the lovely piece of homemade cake. But we're not allowed to do that, are we?
No, we're not. This has been a rule that's been set down by Chris Riddle, I guess, and his committee. But
Chris Riddle is the head of the Royal Cornwall Show.
The show secretary. He retires in September, so I'll look forward to meeting his successor and see if we can do. But then, Helen, that means we all got to bake. I mean, good grief.
We do go through an awful lot of cake with the number of visitors that we get.
The important thing is with the cake is, and I see where Chris is coming from, it has to be cooked in a commercial kitchen, and we haven't got one of those.
We haven't.
So we support the local bakers in the area. So I get, quite a lot from local sources.
And they're very nice. All the cakes and biscuits are
very good.
They are delicious.
And everybody seems to enjoy them. So,
and I will just say a congratulations to Rodders, because again they've sponsored us this year.
Oh, wonderful.
For the cream.
Always so grateful to Rodders for the cream that they donate to us.
Mm.
So one of the other things I find is that when we're actually underway with the marquee and it all starts to happen, people come in. It really rather depends on the weather. If it starts to rain, we know we're going to get a rush. If it's very hot, we get a rush because people want to sit down. But we have to manage the sort of the throughput of people to make sure everybody's safe. We are very careful at looking at all the safety issues. So, for example, if someone comes in with a dog and the lead's trailing, or someone needs some extra help and support, we'll try and identify that very quickly and make sure that they're put in chairs and tables where they can be safe and secure, and make sure that no hot tea is spilled, all those sort of things that you do without thinking at home. We have to do on a bigger scale in the marquee. So managing the crowds.
I rely on Liz for that. Liz is good at that. So
it is a massive marquee, isn't it? For those who haven't visited us before, please come on down and see us. But it's a huge endeavour and a very large marquee.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, 43 metres by 12 metres.
It's really big.
It's wonderful, really.
Yeah.
And we do get a lot of people because there are not many places on the showground during the show where you can go and actually sit down. But not just that, sit down at a lovely table with a cloth, maybe some flowers, have a proper china cup and saucer, and people do love it.
They do. It's one of the things they really remark on, and how pretty it all looks. It really does look pretty. There's bunting. I mean, it's really quite quintessentially English, and for that, it's just lovely. And people really enjoy that. But we do have to have that eye out for safety. You've obviously got things like the boiler working in the background, and so making sure people don't trip or spill anything. And we have a first aid little corner where if anything happens, we take people and look after them. So fortunately, it doesn't happen. Keep fingers crossed. But you need to be aware of what might actually.
Yeah, you have to be ready just in case.
Have to be ready. Yes. But on the whole, the team is
good,
great. Actually,
it
really does. It does work, and it's good fun. I recommend anybody coming and giving us a hand.
Do you want more volunteers, or have you got enough for this year?
I think we're fine for this year.
Yeah.
We've had a wonderful response, and for that we are very grateful. The one thing that we need to make sure is that the volunteers and tea stewards, although they're allocated to a certain part, whether that's teas or helping out on the stalls or whatever, that we need a level of flexibility, because at any time people go off for breaks and things. So we need to be able to pull people across. So that's one of the things that we really are keen to ask people to be flexible about.
So if you put your name down to do one thing, you might get moved to do something else if we need
to. Yeah.
And treat it as an experience rather than a negative. But,
and a challenge.
So we do have other stalls that we use our volunteers for. We have our Federation sales stall, which has a lot of gorgeous, I want to say second-hand, but it's beautiful jewellery, costume jewellery.
Pre-loved, I think they call it.
Pre-loved, that's the word. That's what I was looking for. And Margaret Johnson, who is also a trustee, has put together some amazing little packets of all sorts of necklaces, bracelets. So do come and have a look at that. We also have second-hand books, jigsaws, and we have our WI shop, which sells some lovely things as well.
Yep. And Emma Scott will be there demonstrating her willow making. So.
And if you don't know who Emma Scott is, if you've ever driven through the middle of Truro and seen those gorgeous hedgehogs on the roundabout, that's her work.
That's her work.
She won't be doing anything that big for us, but she does some beautiful pieces which she will demonstrate and sell.
And as a rider to that, Emma's just told me that she's redone the hedgehog because Truro Council have asked her to do it for Chelsea Flower Show.
Oh, I did hear that they were going to be repaired because they've been there for a while and the weather has been taking its toll on those hedgehogs.
Pam and I, last year, we went down to visit Emma's place of work. It's down tucked in the Monks's Valley, and Emma grows all her own cane and cuts it and prepare it ready for weaving.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, actually. A wonderful little outing that was, wasn't it?
We'll love it. Yeah.
Love it. So she's a great asset to us.
She is. It's amazing to watch her work.
Yeah. So, what else can we say?
Just checking that we've covered everything, I suppose.
I think we have. I mean, the marquee goes up on the 23rd of May. I'm then down there on the 2nd of June, receiving the furniture and get them to set it up for us. And then from there on in, I'm down there every day with the events team. 3rd, 4th, setting up. 5th of June, the Wednesday, the WI competitors come in and set up their displays. And
so it's the day before the show, the Wednesday that the judging takes place.
Correct.
So all the judges will come and have a look at everything. The WIs will have dropped their competition entries off early in the morning on that day.
And what's so nice is that we get the staff coming down from here in China. They come down and are part of the team. And so they get the experience of, tea stewards, volunteers, or anything else we can.
And meeting members.
And feeling much more part of the organisation rather than slightly separate from it. And that's something we like to do, isn't it?
And of course, on the Thursday, we've got to welcome the presidents to the show, coming to visit our stand and present
the Royal Cornwall Show president will come in the morning, late morning, and present the cups to the winners. So we will know the winners on the Wednesday, on the day before, and they will all be contacted.
Yes.
And we hope that we'll have some people there to accept the cups. They'll all be waiting by the phone.
I'm sure I wonder if they want a cup of tea or coffee. Just set them a nice table.
Unfortunately, there's no royal visitors this year that we've heard.
No royal visitors.
A big show party coming. The current show president and the president-elect, and
we are very much part of the Royal Cornwall Show. Actually, we've got a site which is quite prominent, really, and has a lot of passing trade, for want of a better word, and visitors. So it does raise our profile, which is really this is part of what we do. And
absolutely.
We need to keep it going as long as we can, but we need the help from the members to keep it going. That's one of the key things that has become more and more clear over the years, I think. Don't know what you feel.
I do. I mean, it costs a lot of money for us to be there, but, as Liz just said, it's a vital part of what we do, and we do need a member's support. Yeah.
And if you've not volunteered this year, or if your WI has not entered the competition, think about it for next year. It's not too early to start thinking now.
No,
because we can we'd love to have as many entries as possible, because it just makes the display so much better.
It certainly does. It looks great, actually. As we said before, it really does look great in that marquee. All we really need now is some decent weather.
Well, yes.
Not cold and windy. That's what you can never be sure about. But
No.
I think we're going to be all right.
We'll be all right.
It's coming this weekend, isn't it? And then after that, hopefully
we'll settle down. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
one of the things that I love about our marquee is all of the pennants. Each WI has created a little pennant, which is not their banner that they use for their WI, but just a small pennant, and they're all hung around the edges, around the perimeter of the marquee. It's just lovely to see them.
Yeah, because they're all so different, aren't they? They all depict something to them that means their WI and where they come from. Yeah.
One of the things I quite like to see, although it's a bit sort of quirky, is there are lots of guy ropes, obviously, when holding up the marquee. And we have a lot of tea towels that get used and dry. So what we do is pin the tea towels to the guy ropes so they can blow in the sunshine. It does look really rather, I don't know,
wartime, I think.
A bit wartime.
Well, it's not now. It's like the WI's putting their washing out. It's lovely.
Absolutely. There's something about it. It's quite amusing, really, but it's what we do.
Now, I'm going to put you both on the spot. What is your favourite and least favourite thing about the show?
For me, it's meeting people I don't see for the previous 12 months because they all know I'll be there, so they come looking for me. It's just renewing acquaintances for me from down west because I'm a Penzance girl.
Ah.
Liz?
I just like to see that imagery of the marquee with the pennants in the sunshine, people coming in, enjoying. I love seeing them sitting down at the tables, chatting, enjoying a cup of tea. And for me, is to go around and talk to the visitors and also, of course, to our members. That's such fun and so interesting. What don't I like? Oh, it's on the side of a hill a bit. It's a bit of a slope.
You don't notice it until you're having to stand on it all day.
Well, there's a rubber mat that we have to make sure is safe. We're constantly having just to straighten it so there's no accidents. And so that's probably the only thing. That's the only thing. Silly, I know, but, that is it. And
can I add another thing? Another thing I do like every year, the barbershop boys from Newquay come in and sing to us. I can't think of their call, Olenwello or something like that. And it's just adds to the atmosphere.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've had the rock choir come in, and we've had Catacluse come in, didn't we?
Yeah, we have.
And so that becomes a real country feel to it. It's lovely. It's lovely. They do enjoy it.
One thing I like is I'm always amazed at the WI members from outside Cornwall who come and see us to see what we're getting up to. But it's lovely to talk to them and sort of compare notes on what they do in their counties.
Because from your side, you've got representative of the membership of the different committees, haven't you? Engaging people. So we don't have much to do with that, but we can see all the activity up your end.
Well, we always have our membership support committee, which that's our WI advisors. They always have a stall in the marquee with a lovely display about what's been going on in the Cornwall Federation. And that's our big sort of recruitment effort. So any visitors to the marquee, we have a little chat to and ask them if they're interested in joining the WI. And if they are, we take their details and pass them on to WIs. So we do try and help all of the WIs in Cornwall boost their membership that way.
And of course, we do run a raffle, which contributes to the cost of the marquee.
And we'll be selling tickets at the show. So make sure if you haven't bought tickets yet, do come along and buy some.
Yeah. It's really important if we possibly can to break even if hopefully make a little bit of a profit. But it is a huge outlay and we do rely on people to support us. It's very important.
Definitely.
You would lose so much, wouldn't you, otherwise?
We don't do it as a money-making endeavour. No. It's publicity and PR, really.
Yep. It's our shop window for the year, Helen.
Definitely is.
Yep.
Oh, I thought Liz was going to say something there.
She was planning it and then she lost it.
So in a couple of weeks, we're all going to have some late nights and early mornings, aren't we?
Oh, yes. I leave home at 7 o'clock in the morning and probably get home at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
They're long days. They are long days, and your feet ache a bit at the end of the day, but they're great fun. And, over the years, you build up a team of people and friendships really flourish from that. It's such value. And something that people don't really see. It's not really tangible, but it's there. And a really important feeling to enjoy other people's company.
So I really hope that lots of our members will come and see us.
Yes.
Come pop in, have a cream tea and come and say hello. We'd love to have a chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else before we sign off, Liz and Pam?
Well, Liz and I are going down in the basement this afternoon to sort out cups and saucers.
The tablecloths are already ironed at home, ready to bring over.
Yep.
The flowers
I'll be doing the flowers. And Margaret, yeah. So
for the tables.
So it rolls on, Helen.
Yes. Yes. It's a well-oiled machine. But I have to say, Helen, Pam is fantastic at organising it. She is just the best.
She is. And Pam has been organising this for a number of years, but will not be doing it next year.
I've done 7, and I think it's time to hand the hat over to somebody else.
It is time. Absolutely, it's time. So if you would like to help, get in touch with the office and we'd be happy to take your name.
Yes.
Thank you, Helen. Yes, that'd be lovely.
Thank you both. Thank you for talking to me today and good luck with the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.